the 2021-2022 season. Let's get it going. The roster's set, as you've seen. We're good. Let's do it. Do I think John Moore gets relegated to being a healthy scratch again? They're going to change up something. Like I said, Bruce Cassidy absolutely called out their defense, the Bruins defense in general, after the loss tonight. So I'd expect some changes. And that's the issue. They have 7 defensemen who are NHL caliber, so someone's going to be the odd man out. Oh, here's a good question. Who do you want to see get Jack Hughes the most? Oh, cool. Spencer Knight's hurt already. Let me check the NHL standings, because that's a really good question. Who has the best chance to get him right now, realistically? Because obviously the answer is the Bruins, which isn't going to happen, more than likely. So let me check the standings. Is it worth starting franchise mode? Yes. Did you convince Jay Sniper afterwards to trust your process? I think so. I saw Penner and immediately thought you signed Dustin Penner. We're calling him Dustin Penner's son, even though that wouldn't work out. So the bottom of the NHL right now: Ottawa, Los Angeles, Chicago, Detroit, New Jersey, Florida, Edmonton. Ottawa suffered a lot, but I'm going to say no to that. Sorry, it's a division rival, and Melnyk doesn't deserve him. That's my response to that. Los Angeles would be interesting. And I'd love, in a way, to see a 1-2 punch with him and Kopitar, because that would be just absolutely disgusting. Chicago, no. Detroit, no. Absolutely not. You both deserve to suffer for longer. You've had far too many cups, and again, Los Angeles kind of still deserves to suffer a little bit. New Jersey would be interesting. New Jersey would be relatively interesting. I gotta go with Florida for Deej. I gotta go with Florida. Florida or St. Louis. If I look at the teams right now, and I am, that are towards the bottom, right? I mean, I gotta go Florida. Granted, they're a division rival too, but Deej. Florida or St. Louis. Those are my votes. If I had to pick one, I'd say St. Louis, just so that they're not, just so that Jack Hughes wouldn't be in the Eastern Conference, which would be nice. What are we talking about? I was asked where I'd prefer to see Jack Hughes go. That is the response. Oh, goodness. Tried NBA, don't like it. FIFA's just boring. FIFA is not boring. How dare you? How dare you? I did see the Kristaps Porzingis trade today. The Knicks are... the Knicks are the Knicks. That's what they do. They make terrible decisions. So, no matter how your interest may waver in the NBA, you can at least always go to bed tonight knowing that the New York Knicks will be just terrible. So, just terrible. Oh, Cody, that's hilarious. Oh, what else did I miss? Florida would take Spencer Knight. They honestly might and probably should. They'd trade down. They would trade down. Mouse Jesus, what's going on? What's going on? Good year for rookies. I hope so. All over 500. Look at Bakersfield, by the way. Those Condors flying high. Jay O'Brien's back from injury. We all know Ottawa's winning the lottery because everything bad happens to Ottawa. Yeah, it's a fair point. If Ottawa wins it, Colorado gets it. Fair point. I keep forgetting that. I gotta be honest. I keep forgetting that Ottawa doesn't have their number 1 pick. Which I'm sure most Sens fans prefer to forget, the fact that they traded that pick as well. So, knucklehead, I'm sorry, man. There was a lot. What's going on? So yeah, Colorado or St. Louis. Why not? Let's have McKinnon and Jack Hughes as a 1-2 punch. Why not? Let's go full meme in Colorado. Ottawa wins the lottery. They'll hold up Chicago or Ottawa. Ottawa trades Matt Duchene and more back to Colorado for number 1 pick. I can see it happening now. I can see it happening now. Dunno. It's happening, buddy. 11, 12, and 3, huh? It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Let's keep rolling. Love to see Kako in Colorado. Oh, Ralph Penner's hurt too? Everyone's getting hurt. Come on, man. I might turn off injuries. I discussed that last time out. I wanted to see... Jesus Christ. I wanted to see, of course, if players who are lower on the durability scale would be injured more consistently. No, it just appears to be random, and people just get injured whenever the hell they want. So, you know. Alright, Penner back in the lineup. We have Gusev. Only 2 goals in 6 games. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. At least Duchesne's been great for the Sens. True, but now they gotta pay him, and Melnyk doesn't like to pay. So, you know. I feel like people passing up on EP40 in fantasy as a rookie is a dumb choice. Potentially. Jay, what's going on? What's going on? You can't deny Hart a Calder if he stays over 920. I mean, you can, because he hasn't played the full season. NHL rookie scoring at this point. I mean, if you think he's going to beat Pettersson, you're wrong. And I mean, that's the problem, too. That's the reason why I wanted to look it up, because a lot of people are like, my God, Rasmus Dahlin, he has 28 points. It's going to Pettersson. Like, it's... I'm sorry. I mean, at this point, can't turn off the terrible music, dog. It's got to play. I'm sorry. Otherwise, this can't go up on the YouTubes. Speaking of which, for the Mafia 2... with the old school music that was on the radio, I did indeed get hit with a copyright strike by YouTube for the music from the 1940s. That is still copywritten. So, yeah, making no money on the Mafia 2 stuff. Which is fine, because let's be honest, I wouldn't make any money off of it anyway, because it's not going to do enough view-wise, but it is funny that music from the goddamn 30s and 40s still gets bopped for copyright. Shit's ridiculous. Shit's ridiculous. But, yeah, going back to the prior conversation, Elias Pettersson's winning. He's winning the Calder. I mean, at this rate, it's probably going to be Pettersson, Dahlin, and Hart, I'd say. Could be the top 3. Probably will be the top 3. But to say, like, oh, if Hart has over a 920 by the end of the year, you can't deny him the Calder. You're gonna be very disappointed. You're going to be very disappointed. Steel Eye, apparently not. Apparently not. So, I don't know. Unless those artists are still kicking around. That's all I can say, though, is there's music from the fucking 40s in that game that managed to get bopped. Hart leads them to the playoff, he wins. No. There's no way. Because you underestimate, or perhaps overestimate, how much they're going to value half-decent goaltending. There's simply no way. I will admit I'm wrong. I'll admit I'm wrong. But there is no way Carter Hart gets the Calder unless Pettersson suffers a season-ending injury. There's no way. There is no way. I'm sorry. You're far too hopeful and perhaps maybe a touch bit too biased as a Flyers fan if you think that Carter Hart's going to get the votes. Maybe he should, can be the discussion. He's not going to, though. It's just not going to happen. Not a chance. Who's more injury prone? Penner, Bobby Ryan, or Hideo Tommy? That's a really good question. I'm going to go with Dustin Penner, because you can't get injured while eating pancakes in your home without being considered extremely injury prone. So, we are currently very far outside of the playoffs. Right. Oh, shit. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to look at the other teams. That's what I forgot to do. And I'm not surprised that that's what I forgot to do. So here's what we are going to do. I'm going to turn off injuries. And then after the trade deadline, we'll see what each team is looking like. I knew I was going to forget to do something, though. And that was it. We forgot to take a look at the lines for the start of Season 4. But that's okay. That's okay. A team with heart the whole season is probably a playoff team. I mean, yeah. It's basically the issue for Philly, and what it has been is that they just don't have good goaltending until now. And luckily for them, they haven't completely ruined Carter Hart because he's actually been ready for the challenge. But, point being, Pettersson wins the Calder. The end. Pettersson wins the Calder. The end. He has, 45 points in 40 games? Come on now. Come on now. He's going to win it. Like I said, the top 3 for voting, it might end up being... Do I want to take Ben Sherratt for the express reason of trading him? No, I don't. If I had to say right now, again, Pettersson, Dowling, Carter Hart for the nominees, but Pettersson's winning the Calder. We need another Manning McDavid rookie moment against Vancouver. Vancouver's the Toronto of the West. That's why I hate them both. Yeah. Like I said, there's simply no way. Even if, oh, Vancouver misses the playoffs, but Philly gets dragged in by Carter Hart. I doubt he's winning it. I doubt it. Tyler, what's going on, man? Thank you for continuing that gifted sub. As far as your question about Realm Royale, solid game, not perfect, has its own issues, but a decent little alternative to the likes of PUBG and Fortnite. It's pretty fun. It's pretty damn fun. Alright, so, again, deadline day. We'll check out all the other trades, and then we'll take a look at every team's lineup because I forgot to do that. And we'll see what teams are rolling with. We have dragged ourselves back into the playoffs. How much of a winning streak did we just go on, or did I completely misread the situation? We're only 3 points out. We're only 3 points out. Yeah, Tyler, I mean, it's free, so it's worth a shot. A decent month, goddamn. The Oilers want to make it. Yeah, Tyler, check it out, man. I'll be, if I'm not busy playing with other friends or whatever, or streaming and making videos, I'll be down to play. It's fairly straightforward, easy to pick up, so. Alright. Are there any trades we want to make? I don't think that I plan on trading for anybody. I'm going to keep the team as is. I mean, goalie-wise, obviously, we signed Carter Hutton for the season, so that Spencer Knight wouldn't be the full-time starter. I think we're good from a goaltending perspective. Hutton's been pretty poor, but we're going to roll with him still. Defensively, it's still not that bad. I think we just keep the team as is. No need to buy. It's not going to really increase our chances, so we'll stay as is. Let's sim an extra day beyond the deadline. We'll see what the AIs have done, and we'll take a look at how the other teams are shaping up here to post-deadline. So let's see what moves have happened. Of course, we're in Season 4. Might start hosting tournaments where people enter for like 30k coins and Hut. I mean, that might get you in trouble. Just going to throw that out there. Kevin LeBanc to the Rangers for Toby Reeder in a 4th. Thomas Hickey and Tyler Pitt to Colorado for a 2nd, 5th, and Ben Brinkman. Nashville gets Marchessault and a 5th for Pekka Rinne. Jesus, Vegas, why did you get Pekka Rinne unless Marc-Andre Fleury left? That's really weird. Zach Sanford dealt to Ottawa. Mirko Mueller flipped for Hunter Jones. That's interesting why Detroit would give up that goaltending prospect, but okay. Dzingel and CC to Dallas for William Eklund, a 2nd and a 3rd. Boo Nieves in a 5th for... Wow, so Reeder was dealt twice. I also need to mark down William Eklund. I forgot to change his nationality back over. What else do we got? Colin Miller, Igor Ozhiganov, dealt for a 1st and a 2nd. Billy Husso to Buffalo. Marcus Davidson. Eunice Brodin to Vancouver for 2 seconds. Victor Rask dealt to Anaheim, involving a 1st-round pick. Let's see. Montreal gets Cole Caulfield from Columbus. Not bad. I mean, some pretty big names dealt. The shocking trade there is Pekka Rinne going to Vegas at this point. But there were some big moves. Now again, let's take a look at what these squads are looking like here at this point. I forgot to do it at the start of the season. So Anaheim, do we have injuries? We don't. So right now, Raquel, Henry, Kasha, Max Jones is an 84, Victor Rask, Daniel Sprong, Comtois, Steele, Ritchie, Sheahan, Deneau, and Shore. That's not a bad team. I mean, again, Kasha's developed, Sprong and Jones looking solid, Comtois and Steele. They added Philip Deneau at some point. Defensively, I mean, Fowler and,
anyway, Jared Spurgeon. Can we see the Jared Spurgeon?
And then Jacob Larson in 84. Malcolm Subban, 91 Gibson. Ryan Getzlaf, though, down to a 79 within 3.5 seasons. Or is it 4.5 at this point? I don't recall. I think it's 4.5. But, no, it'd be 3.5. But still, harsh regression there for Getzlaf. Arizona Keller's up to a 90. Nuge, of course, left us in free agency and signed there. He's reunited with Eberle. Galchenyuk at an 87. Schmaltz and Merkley. Christian Fisher, Lawson Krause, Dvorak, and Hudson Fasching. Ekman Larson, Chikrin, Pierre-Olivier Joseph has made it at an 83. It's not too bad. Aiden Hill and Stuart Skinner ended up in Arizona as well. Healthy scratches, Goligoski. Having Barrett Hayton as a healthy scratch is probably not a good idea. But, alright. Bold strategy. See if it pays off. Boston, top line still the same, 90 Pasta. DeBrusk, Heinen, Donato. Yeah, Donato with an 82 is okay at this point. Senyshyn's made the squad. Solark and Bjork also there. Krug, McAvoy at a 90. Vakanainen and Carlo. Zaboril's also made the squad at an 83. In goal, Swayman and Condon. Chara, Miller, and Grzelcyk, the healthy scratches. Zdeno Chara as a healthy scratch in Boston. That hurts my soul. That hurts my soul. Buffalo, 84 Nylander, Eichel up to a 93, Mittelstadt an 85. Wilson, McCann, who they drafted. Sam Reinhart's an 87. Guys like Nemesnikov, Gabriel Gagne at an 81. Dahlin up to an 89. And Zdorov an 88, who they drafted. Gardner, Risto, Goulet up to an 84 with Adam Larson, who we dealt to them because it made sense. And Luukkonen's an absolute beast. 87 overall at 22 years old. Monster. Strome, Pageau, Panik is the healthy scratches. Carolina, what do you look like at this point? Capo Caco, Jesus Christ, that top line in general. 88 overall Capo Caco, 90 Aho, and an 89 Svechnikov. That is absolutely disgusting. Martin Necas as the second line center. That top six is pretty deadly. Gauthier, Jordan Stahl, Justin Williams still there. Warren Fogle, Tambellini, and Lucas Wallmark. Carolina looking pretty good. Defense, Jake Beans made it. Adam Fox has made it. Juuso Valimaki, who they acquired. Goalies, Darling with that ridiculous development. Robin Leonard. Dahan, Fleury, and Pellick as the scratches. The Blue Jackets. Panarin's still there. Dubois and Atkinson. Sonny Milano's made it. Calle Johansson, who they drafted. Wenberg at an 85. Ilya Kovalchuk down to a 78 on the fourth line. Stenlin a 79. Werenski Jones, Carlson, Nidivara. Pretty much same defense. And Bobrovsky still there in goal. Siebenoller, Collins, and Lernout, who they just acquired, are the scratches. Calgary. I mean, it's the top line you'd expect. Kachuk's a 90. They have Kreider, Lindholm, and Jonathan Dahlin. Pollock, Dubé, James Neal, Emile Poirier, Backlund. The Backlund as an 83. That center depth is nuts for Calgary. Hanifin an 85, Anderson an 81. Renat Valiev, and again, much like we saw with Anaheim, some pretty sharp regression. Gio down to a 78. Mike Smith rebounded, though, to an 87. So you have some players like Gio drop into a 78, and then Mike Smith rebounds back up to an 87, because that's how this game works. Kuokkanen at an 81. Glenn Godden. Chicago. DeBrincat's an 81. Perlini, Strome, and Saad. Fortin, Simon Taival up to an 81. Just pretty nuts. Dylan Sikora, Kirby Reichel, Anisimov, and John Hayden. If Carolina doesn't make the conference final, I'll make a high bet that I can never deliver on. It was a pretty good squad. Chris and Yoki Harju at an 85. Tanev and Mitchell. Not too bad. Wooter Peters. And Philip Grubauer. The tandem. Corey Crawford, currently injured at 37. He hasn't regressed like crazy, though. Colorado, Landeskog, McKinnon, Rantanen, Silverberg with Jack Hughes. Riley Smith, Martin Kautz made the squad. Kerfoot and Comfer. Brassard, Jost, and Kamenev as a fourth line. That is deadly. Cale Makar is up to an 88. You got Sam Girard at an 85. Connor Timmins at an 82. It's not a bad defense for them. Talbot and Varlamov as the tandem. Eric Johnson, a healthy scratch. How much longer is on his contract? That is a rough, healthy scratch right there. TVR and Zadorov. Dallas, Ben Sagan, Radulov. Still, Radulov started to drop off. Robertson, Holla. Let's see. Dzingel, Faxa, Gurionov at an 84. Tufty, Dickinson, and Hudon. Ron, what's going on, buddy? What's going on? I got no complaints. Aside from the fact that it takes forever to go through this. But I like seeing how the teams develop. So, you know. Heiskanen's a beast. Honka's doing pretty well. Ottinger's a monster. Jesus Christ. Please tell me that's the last year of Bishop Steel. If Jake Ottinger hits the free agent market, that's all I'm saying. Spooner Armia, Connor Carrick as the scratches. Detroit, 90 Zadina, 90 Larkin, 86 Mantha. Athanasiou, Cole Perfetti, and Nyquist. Jesus, they have... Man, they've done really well drafting. Holy shit. They got Perfetti, they got Genther. Of course, Rasmussen, Svechnikov are there. Tyler Bertuzzi, Joe Veleno. A lot of young talent on that Detroit team. That would be a fun team to use. Cholowski and Hronik. Jared McIsaacs made the squad. Goaltenders Ryan Miller and Jesper Eliasson. Smith, Ross, Colton, Danny DeKaiser as the scratches. Florida, Huberdeau, Barkov, and Denisenko at an 82. Hoffman, Trocheck, Dadonov. Marlowe, Borgstrom, Hempstead. Thank you for the follow. Borgstrom and Owen Tippett at an 83. Kyra Howarduk, whose name I can't pronounce, and Heponiemi. So Florida's done a decent job of developing their younger talent. They just acquired Colin Miller. Ekblad's there. Joachim Vinainen, who they just drafted. That's insane. 2020 10th overall pick. He's an 87 at 19 years old. Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous. I swear, it's like if you go through and roster edit like I did, I swear it just development patterns go crazy. Like there seem to be more extremes. Joe Thornton is a healthy scratch. I should have saved him from that. Should have acquired him. Los Angeles with Atu Ratti, whose name I can't pronounce because it's Finnish and weird. Kopitar and Kyle Serinkovic. Man, that's some damn good drafting there as well. They had the 2nd overall pick and the 7th overall pick in that same draft. They did really well with it too. Jeff Carter's still there. Wagner, Kempe, Anderson, Dolan, and Velarde haven't developed to a crazy extent. Defense, Dowdy, of course, Muzzin still there. Lintoniemi. Quick and Ranta. 89 overall Ranta. Probably not smart to have 21-year-old Rasmus Kupari as a healthy scratch, but I'm not going to tell you how to run your team. For the love of God, can we get better AI? Please. Please. Can we get smarter AI? I'm begging you, EA. I'm begging you. Like, I get that they're probably paying Brandon Sutter, but, I mean, come on. They shouldn't be sitting him. He should be in the minors, at least. Andreas Janssen developed for Minnesota. Granlund and Kaprizov up to an 84. Kunin up to an 84. They have Gallagher. Greenway, Eriksson, Ek, and Parise. Bunievis, Coyle, and Ennis. Philip Johansson with 90 overall. Dumba. Let's see. Martin Jones and the Dubnik. Will Bitton and Bobby Russell. Healthy scratches. EA and Smart AI aren't in the same sentence. Well, you know. Yeah. Sauce, what's going on, man? Montreal. What do we got? Drouin. 87 Kokaniemi. 85 Vasily Podkolzin. Still got Byron, Domi, and Toffoli. Lekkinen, Palings made the squad. Iafallo, Shinkarik, and McCarron did well to get to 4th line level. Actually, they're 3rd line level, technically. Mete and Juleson, both 84s. Josh Brook in 82. Gustav Olofsson, Shea Weber is still there. Kemper and Price at 34. Okay. EA, just... that shouldn't be happening. Like, I'm not even as upset about Tierney being a healthy scratch, although that's ridiculous. You cannot have Anton Lundell as a healthy scratch. You can't. Now, he had played 40 games, but still, what the hell? And Jani Ikonen hasn't played a single game. Do you think the gameplay of this game needs a complete overhaul? Watching him play 14 made me miss the arcade gameplay so much. They either... I don't know if it needs an overhaul. They just, again... I feel like they try to find the balance between, realism and a bit more fun arcadey. They try to find that balance, and they haven't been able to nail it down. So, I mean, the problem is, for me, I think the game should be, quote-unquote, again, trying to find that middle ground is why you have inconsistency and why people get pissed off, because you could have the same play happen, and every time it's like a coin flip to see what the hell happens. I would prefer to have main game be as realistic as possible, but then to still have the over-the-top game modes like NHL 3's. Fuck it, make an entirely separate game called 3-on-3 Arcade, or again, do it that way so that everyone gets their fix. But Podkolzin as a hab is orgasmic. Hall, Hischier, and Palmieri. You guys have probably read over this already. Michael McLeod in 83. You got on defense, Butcher Severson. Philip Broberg at an 84. Jesus, Noah Delamont as well. Stephen Bukaboom, who they drafted. He was 2nd overall, wasn't he? 4th. Okay. I know we had a chance at drafting him, so that would make sense. But Ty Smith, again, Noah Delamont, and Philip Broberg. New Jersey defense is looking pretty damn good. They did a 3-on-3 arcade. I know they did. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just, I don't think at this point, Kenzie Blackwood in 84. That's why they got Hunter Jones, who's up to a 77, to replace Schneider. Makes sense. Granted, he shouldn't be a healthy scratch yet. Again, I don't think they've been able to hit that middle ground as well as they've wanted to for realistic and arcade-style gameplay. So I just say, go to an extreme, one or the other. It's got to be one or the other. I don't think they can hit the middle ground. They've been trying for years. People still aren't happy. So, if you have Caden Primo in the game, what potential and overall? I don't know. Check the roster. Everything's spectacular. Which, at some point, I will go ahead and make... I will probably go ahead and add all the details to the roster editing document, because enough people have asked, although it's tedious as hell, and I'm not looking forward to it. But he is in the game. Marchessault, Arvidsson, Tolvanen, you guys have had time to look over that. Their defense is still ridiculous. Dante Fabro has also made it. Yaros and Grice. Or Saros and Grice. Yaros? Thinking of fucking Ottawa defenseman. UC Saros. Carlson, Fiala, and Austin Watson for a baseball series. You should check out OTP now. I don't have time. I know it's a good game. I just don't have time. I don't even get to play FHM as much as I want to. Like I said, there are too many games out there, and I can simply not balance all of them. It's the way it is. Oh, God. Dylan Cousins at an 85. Barzal, Hosang. Lee Nelson, Bailey, Beauvillier, Kirby, Doc, Michael Dalcal. Jesus Christ, this Islanders team. Komarov, Gunler, and Bellows. So, I mean, in terms of younger talent, again, Cousins, Beauvillier's only 24, Doc, Dalcall, Gunler, Bellows. That's a pretty sweet team. It's a pretty sweet team. Lindell, Dobson, Scandella, Mayfield. That's a pretty weak defense, though. Goalie is Sorokin and Soderstrom. Connolly, and again, you should not have Aroniemi as a healthy scratch. God damn it. And if you can't get him into your lineup, maybe trade a forward, bring in that defensive help that you need. God damn it. It's so frustrating when you look at AI teams and you're like, wow, I'd love to control that team, to fix it, to not have them be terrible. So, you know. Oh, Bushnevich, Zibanejad, Zuccarello, Duclair, Hedel up to an 84, LeBanc, Howden still there, Elias Anderson, and Vitaly Kravtsov. Goalers, because I skipped over the defense, Lundqvist and Shestyorkin. Altai Barmakian has made it. He's a Chicago prospect. Brady Do That Hockey and Nils Lundqvist. So they have Lundqvist and Lundqvist on the same team at the same time. Pyonk's there. Keandre Miller's also made the squad. So, you know, there's some promise for that Rangers defense. Ottawa is Brady Tkachuk, Braden Point, and Mark Stone. Formanton, White, Klimchuk. Logan Brown made it up to an 84. Josh Norris, an 82. Isaac Lundstrom, an 81. Shabatawa, a 90. Pulak, an 87. Lajoie, Bernard Docker. There's Yaros. And Englund. That's not a terrible defense. Do you have the facepalm clip on deck? You should play that whenever you see the eye scratching someone like Kapari. I'd have to play that clip so much I'd probably get copyrighted on YouTube for it. Gustafsson and Jakob Skarik. It's not a bad tandem. Klopik, Sheelington, and Eklund as the scratches. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Philly, Drew, Couturier, Voracek, Simmons, Patrick up to an 87. Konechny, Rubtsov, Obey Kubel. Defense, Provorov, Ghost Bear, Haig, Sanheim, Manning, and Morin. Manning and Morin. Carter Hart up to an 89 at 23 years old. Jimmy Howard is the backup. What's the equivalent of a facepalm clip that I have? What's the best equivalent I have for a facepalm?
You're stupid.
It's pretty accurate. Also, why are they healthy scratches? Why?
You come out
Also,
here and try to get the sympathy of the people, but you don't get my sympathy at all.
There we go. That's better. Knucklehead, you're the man. Thank you. It's appreciated greatly. Very much puts you at the top of the list. I gotta spam some of that beautiful Knucklehead-related emote spam. I'll lead the way. Can you switch ownership just to start them? I can't, which is very frustrating. Very frustrating. Pittsburgh, Malkin, Crosby, Kessel, Hinostroza, Gensel. They got Bjorkfist. Pittsburgh's looking pretty rough. I would love if I could control every AI team, have the AI control everything, except I can jump in and save them, where it's like, oh, okay, we'll trade some forwards so those young prospects can get into the lineup. That's all I would do. I'd let the AI control everything, but then constantly like overlook and fix their rosters to help them out of the situations they keep getting themselves into. Absolute idiots. 90 overall Murray. Marcus Pettersson is a healthy scratch. Swap out the fourth line for the scratches. Yeah, pretty much. But, you know. San Jose. Meyer capped out pretty much at an 85. Nothing really interesting to look at. Swomela, Latunov, nothing too crazy. You know, if there's in the YouTube video, it's going to get copyrighted. Probably not, because it's not full screen Pyro and they don't last long enough. So, we should be fine. Hamilton Carlson, Dylan Braun. Ivory, gifted that sub from Knucklehead. This Knucklehead's on a tear. Because Knucklehead is on a tear. What would the NHL be without Hall for Larsons? Well, no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'd let the AI handle whatever trades they wanted. But, you know, I'd stop them from having half-decent prospects just sit there as healthy scratches, is the point. Knucklehead, thank you, by the way, buddy. Let me know if I'm to expect more. Let's see. O'Reilly's still a beast. Foley, Kyrou, and Bach. That's not a bad third line. Thomas, Costin, and Steen. Defense is... Defense, Parayko, Pietrangelo, Dunn, Edmondson, Scott Perunovic, Allen, and Riddick. Pavelski, Barbashev. Wow, how much are you paying Pavelski to be on the bench? 2.6. That's rough. Tampa, Miller, Stamkos, Kucherov. Fortier again in an 84. Kachuk's made their roster. Joseph hasn't improved at all. Volkov as well. Bozak! Well, lucky for you. Alright, well, here's the thing, right? We have the desktop audio low enough that you're not going to be able to hear it for the most part anyway. But Lord knows I'd have to listen to that audio cue every goddamn time. Bozak dropped in the old 10 gifted subs like a beautiful, beautiful person. And Knucklehead. You know what? Hold on. Oh, boy. Let's get back on track looking at Tampa, shall we? With 90 Sergachev, 81 Foot. Daniil Sheka, also there at 19. Give your money to Capcom for the amazing RE2 remake, right? Ingram and Vassy. Alpha, what's going on? You haven't missed much. We've simmed halfway through the 4th season here with Edmonton. We're just taking a look at the lineups as of the deadline, because I forgot to do it at the start of the year. Well, that Toronto team's pretty ridiculous. Marner, Matthews, Nylander, Skinner, Tavares, Bracco, Grunstrom, Kadri, Kapanen, Foligno, Zajac, and Brandon Tanev. Not much, 12 subs. 12 subs does indeed equal not much. I mean, you know. You know. Oh, boy. I mean, how else am I supposed to describe it? Not much. Not much feels pretty accurate, doesn't it? You're the best NHL YouTuber out there other than Johnny. Keep it up. That's a debatable point, but thank you. Thoughts on the Knicks? Are they worse than Rielly? Not yet, but they're close. Actually, in fairness, they probably are worse, but, you know. What are you going to do? Joe Wall is the backup. Korshkov at an 80. I mean, again, for the Knicks to do what they've done, right? For the Knicks to do what they've done, it's not surprising to anybody, right? Kind of like Rielly, I guess, at this rate. I'm at 158. What happens at 200? Knucklehead, you're gonna have to get there to find out, aren't you? Gonna have to get there to find out. 92 Pedersen, 91 Besser, Duchesne and Horvat. Canadian, thank you for the follow. It's appreciated. Adam Gaudette's there. That defense is interesting. Only 11 made it up to an 88. Bowen Byram at an 80. And Quinn Hughes has struggled to develop. 80 overall, Quinn Hughes. He has struggled to develop. Yeah, we'll do a face reveal at 200. I'll rip off this mask. A 48-hour stream, right? Let's just kill me. I'm gonna get a confetti cannon on Sunday to celebrate the Super Bowl. I should totally do that, actually. You're not wrong. I should totally do that. And it'll either be a very happy confetti cannon or a very depressing confetti cannon. One or the other. One or the other. But I should probably do that. Get hammered on stream for 200 subs. As someone who's never been drunk in his life, that would be interesting, I'm sure. And then we all find out that I'm a horrible racist, probably. Who knows? That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid I'd say something stupid that isn't at all truthful, but everyone's like, oh, well, if you said it, the true feelings come out when you're drunk. I'm afraid I'd say something fucking stupid in a sarcastic manner, like I do now. And people would be like that, you know, it's like, just no, but... Oh, goodness. Oh, God, what did I miss in chat, by the way? There was something else. There was something else that I missed. Take off the mask as if you were a Scooby-Doo villain. Oh, you've never been drunk? Nope. I'm not a drinker, man. Not a drinker. Not a smoker, not a drinker. Too many lessons learned from family. We'll go with that. Horrible racist. We got the headset and gaming chair. You're almost a full Twitch streamer. Right? Let me load up PUBG and just drop an N-bomb while shooting somebody on a bridge. And we'll be good to go. Get my 80 million YouTube subscribers. This Vegas team, by the way. Rintoul, Lafreniere, Shane Bowers, Wade Allison. That's a really good Vegas team. Theodore, Nick Hague. You're beautiful. Goalies, Rene and Anderson. So Fleury is a healthy... Ooh, okay. So Fleury dropped off. Big time. Big time. Indeed, we did just drop frames. OBS. You calm down. You calm down, OBS. You calm down. Here, let me drop some rates very quickly. Because I don't know why that happened. Drop the old video bitrate by just a little bit. When we getting you to host meme review, right? Oh, I gotta be as cringy as Elon Musk first. That's right, I said it. I find him to be cringy. Winnipeg. 90 Line, Connor Ellers, Vesalainen. Not too bad. Is it bad I've already started stressing about the Super Bowl? Yeah, kind of. I'm not too worried about it. At least I'm trying not to be. Sunday night, I'll be a fucking wreck. I'll be an absolute wreck during that game. Jesus Christ, you would have thought I ran a goddamn marathon during that Chiefs game. It was brutal. Washington last up. Ovi's still in 89. Burakovsky developed. Wilson's in 87. Rana in 83. Lucas Johansson. Madison Bowie. Holt, Beast, and Vanasek. Not bad. I think the most interesting team, for the most part, might be like Detroit, for how well they've developed. A good wreck or a bad wreck? I don't know. Am I going to make a wrestling talk video on Double or Nothing in the state of AEW? When there's more to talk about, sure. But there isn't too much to talk about. Am I watching Halftime Heat on Sunday? Probably. Because Maroon 5 is terrible. Not my kind of music, Maroon 5, alright? Food of choice at the Super Bowl party. Fucking look at me. Everything. Come on, man. Take a guess. Most of it. I'm a big nacho guy, though. You can cut out nacho guy, or you can cut out nacho and just say, I'm a big guy. But, you know, boy. I have to work during the Super Bowl. I'd quit my job. I went into work late when the Red Sox won the when the Red Sox won the Super Bowl. When the Red Sox won the World Series and when the Patriots beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, I went into work late. It's just like, fuck it. If you want to fire me, go ahead. I'm watching these games. I can always get another job. If you found the new Flamin' Hot Doritos. Haven't. I try to stay away from stuff like that. Often fail. But, you know... WWE buried the fuck out of Maroon 5. They did! And it was goddamn hilarious, I must say. Alright, 35, 35, and 8. Are we in a playoff spot? Probably not. We are going to just miss. 78 points to get into the playoffs. We might make it here for the first time. Chicago has a game at hand. But if we win out here, we're going to the playoffs for the first time. Tessier's a healthy scratch, which is fine. Gusev hasn't done that well, though. Tessier hadn't done that much better either. WWE was forced to remove the photo of Adam Levine due to cease and desist. Were they? That's hilarious. That is actually hilarious. Alright, let's see. I'm going to put Kayumov up because he's a little bit older. Penner's going to be on the third line, too. He's done alright, but not great. So, a little bit crazy. But, you know, I don't think Kyler's going to get that much better, actually. So, Penner, Patinen, and O'Brien. Who can we run at center? Dellandrea. Gonna run Puljujarvi on the second line. We're gonna go Draisaitl, McDavid, Gusev, and hopefully Gusev can have a little bit of that magic that he had in the Ottawa series. Kayumov, Yamamoto, Puljujarvi. And if this team can't make it into the playoff picture, then so be it. Carter Hutton, get us across the finish line, buddy. That's the thing. We didn't plan on making the playoffs this year, so if we don't, it is what it is. Raging Corn. My ass smells. I would expect it to. I mean, you know. Most probably do. I mean, I don't know. Unless you get, like, some scented wipes. That could probably help. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you just take the Febreze straight to the taint. That could help out, too, I suppose. Damn it, we split those games. Now, question. If you were, again, to prevent the issue, slowest in the last 5 games, do it for the last 2. On the topic of Raging Corn, bringing up the, you know, the stench of his ass. If you were to Febreze the taint, from a standing position, or like sitting in a chair and just legs up, what would be the most dynamic? You know, this is going on YouTube. It is. What would be the best way to achieve that goal? That's the real question. Or do you just go with, like, a scented wipe? Is Maroon 5 legit doing a cover of Sweet Victory? They fucking better. They fucking better. Alright. We are dead even with Chicago. 1 point back of Vegas. We need to win both of these games. Both of these games to make it into the playoffs. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Can we beat Los Angeles? Are we going to be playoff bound for the first time? First period. That doesn't help. That doesn't help. Second period. Connor McDavid. Connor, we need you. We need you. Third period, we need to win this. We're getting crushed in shots. Come on. That doesn't help. I don't even know if jumping in to save the day would work. And McDavid scores again. Come on. Connor, we need you. We need you. We're in trouble. That is probably our ticket punched out of the playoffs. Yikes. Yikes. I think we're going to fall just a few wins short of making it to the playoffs for the first time. Season 5 looks to be the goal. I'm going to the Colts Nuggets game tomorrow. Again, for someone who's never been to a junior game, I'm jealous. We are officially out of the playoffs. This game against Anaheim does not matter. We lost to the Kings, who are further back in the playoffs than we are. We end up losing in the shootout to Anaheim. That is it. No playoffs still for the Oilers, which is fine. We didn't expect to make it. It would have been like the Leafs making the playoffs and losing to Washington a few years ago. Pleasant surprise, but not this year. Not this year. Calgary, Anaheim, Arizona, Vancouver, and Vegas have made it. Dallas, Nashville, Colorado from the Central. Atlantic is Tampa, Florida, and Detroit. Boston in the basement. That sucks. Washington, Pittsburgh, Columbus, New York, and Philly in the Metro. Worst team was the New York Islanders. Best team, Tampa. 58 wins, which is nuts. At least Anaheim's good in this. Well, you know. Let's take a look here. Simon McDavid and Draisaitl led the way. Puljujarvi also broke 60. Penner did all right. Yamamoto shy of... Actually, Yamamoto had a great season. He just missed too much time due to injury. Patinen, Dellandrea. I'd say the biggest disappointment was probably Gusev. He wasn't that bad, but nowhere near the magic we had seen in Ottawa. Which, you know. Ty Berry did pretty well for us. Clefbaum, pretty disappointing in terms of production. And that Fitzgerald-Nurse pairing was absolutely horrific, and maybe we should have paid a little bit of attention to that, but that's okay. Also, our goaltending was terrible, but kind of expected it to be. We didn't rush Spencer Knight into being the starter for the season, so it should be alright. At least we can go for the first overall pick. Maybe. Can't wait for Leafs fans to say, oh, we knew we were making the playoffs against the Caps, and we knew we should have beaten them. Yeah, I think some people have already claimed that already, which is hilarious. But, yeah, no, that's not true at all. I don't care how broken the stat is, minus 30 is bad. Oh, yeah, if there's an extreme like that, that's how you know it's kind of terrible. Capper's off, by the way. Doing very well. Goal-scoring king was Ovechkin. Only 2 players broke 40. Ovi broke 50. Jack Hughes is up there as well. So for whoever tagged me on Twitter the other day, actually I think it was today, saying, oh, I feel like they fixed scoring. No. As far as I know, they haven't touched anything. So did you see my post on Twitter today? Probably. Do I remember it? No. Being honest. Let's see. Top goaltenders. Vassy, Mike Smith, John Gibson. Yeah, goaltending was way up yet again this year. Calder is going to go to Atu Roddy. Kenny Rintoul was up there. Penner did okay. Probably would finish behind Chad Chris in terms of voting, though. So, not a bad season for us. It was still about further development. So we accomplished our goal in that regard. But still not what we were hoping for. How many career goals does Ovi have now in this game? We'll see. We can check. Granted, I don't want to add it all up, but we will check at some point. 44 points for the points from Chris. As a 24-year-old rookie, OEL had 20 goals. It's pretty solid, especially for how this goes. For how this game runs. Bakersfield ends up making the playoffs. Yeah, we'll follow along with them if they're not already out, hopefully. Hopefully. And they are indeed advancing. Let's follow along with Bakersfield. Let's see what we got. So they swept the San Jose Barracuda. Not bad. They played the last 5 games against the Barracuda. They're playing the San Diego Gulls. Knucklehead, I did indeed see that. I'm loving the Pavlik jersey. As we split the first 2. We're up 2-1 in the series, though. Make it 3-1, 3-2. Are we going to a 7th game, or will we end it in 6? Going to game 7. Bakersfield, will you blow a lead? Yes, you will. 3-1 lead evaporates. Condors are out. That is very disappointing. That is very disappointing. Craig Button does not have Kirby Dach in the top 5. I don't really go off of Craig Button's rankings. I more used Bob McKenzie's rankings because he cultivates from other scouts. So, like I said, for every ranking I was looking at, let me look at my consensus scores. The Flyers win the cup, so we're all going to hell. It's hell on earth. Where do I have Kirby Dach rated right now on aggregate? 4th. So, yeah. Flyers win the cup. This is the worst timeline. This is the worst timeline, but that's okay. Oh, let's see. Art Ross goes to Ovi. Hart goes to Ovi. Carlson wins the Norris for the 2nd year in a row. Capper's off to Lady Bing. Roddy wins the Calder. Carter Hart, the Conn Smythe. The Vezina to Vasilevsky. That's an image a lot of Flyers fans hope that they'll see soon. Jennings, Juleson to Masterton. The Selke to Ryan O'Reilly. Ted Lindsay to Ovi. Rocket Richard to Ovechkin. AHL. I think that's Patrick Harper. For Laval scored the most points and was league MVP. I think that's Oscar Sundqvist, maybe? Most goals. Dorofeyev is the best rookie. Brandon Hickey, the best defenseman. Best goaltender was Rodrigue, which is nice. Would have been nice if we got further into the playoffs, though. Adam Hushka, the Calder. Or the Calder. MVP of the playoffs. Flyers win the cup and they still throw things on the ice, right? They beat Dallas in 6. They beat Dallas in 6. Arizona almost made it back to a cup final. Almost made it back. Not quite. And, of course, we had just looked at what that Philly roster was like. So, we're good to go. Big question right now is the lottery's pulled Colson higher than Doc. He is. We have the 11th pick. And that is it. I don't know if we have any extra first-round picks this year, but St. Louis gets the number 1 pick. Montreal, Boston, the Islanders, and Hurricanes are the top 5. So, we shall see. Jacob, take it easy. This is the Matt Savoy draft. And outside of that, we're in the computer-generated player territory. Moving on. Moving on. Retired players. Retired players. So, Patrick Marlowe, Getzlaf, Bergeron finishes just under 1,000 points. Spezza was up there as well. Pavelski, Ryan Kessler. Took Kessler a while to call it a career. Defenseman, the Buff, Giordano, Bouwmeester. Andrew McDonald, a true legend. Cam Ward, Neuwirth. Andrew Hamburglar also calls it a career. We have to get him. I don't think we're going to be able to trade up, man. Odds are not going to happen. It would be hilarious, but I don't think it's going to happen. That would require Montreal or Boston being willing to trade their picks, and if they're not, we're shit out of luck. And they don't. So, not going to happen. Can't be content without them? Well, guess what? You're going to have to be. Because it's literally not going to happen. Nobody wants to trade their picks. It's not going to happen. So, St. Louis, number 1, takes Matt Savoy. 81 high elite. Montreal takes Hogan. Boston at 3 takes Christek. Do the Islanders want to trade their pick? They do not. And unfortunately, even then, oh boy, we'd have to give up a lot to make it happen. Oh, it might be able to happen though, because Mikhail Kaminsky's probably not going to develop. He was a 4th round steal. He's really only good for his trade value. I might be able to make this happen actually using Christek. Let's see. How close are we? How close are we? Again, they don't want to trade that first, so the value is going to be crazy high, even though it doesn't look like it. Yeah. Should still be able to do it, though. If I can just find the right pieces at the right time. Keep Ekman-Larsson. As long as they don't make a trade out of nowhere. Ott doesn't have that much value. But we're good to throw he and Vanainen into the deal. And forwards. Could throw Ratcliffe or Tessier in there. What if we throw in Dicka? Is that enough? Just try to throw them a bunch of garbage. Also throw them the Arizona 3rd. Still no. Still no. Holtbeast, what's up, buddy? You know, we'll use the 2nd because we'll still be maintaining our 1st. Oh, this is going to be more expensive than it's probably worth. There were some low 6s here. I'll throw in Isaac Ratcliffe. They want him as well. Is that enough? Sweeten it just a touch. I think Vanainen doesn't have as much value. And what if we throw in Tessier as well? Kaminsky, Ott. They'd have too many skaters. Fuck. Oh, boy. Let's go for... I don't really want to take that Andrew Ladd contract. That'd be kind of rough. Let's take Johnston, because that's expiring. Is that enough? Had a feeling that was going to be the complication. This isn't worth it. You're probably right. There's probably a better way to spend the money, but that's okay. If I get rid of Ott, sweeten it just a touch. We should be where we need to be. Let's use that Arizona third. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. Andrew Andrews will be an Edmonton Oiler. Andrew Andrews will be an Edmonton Oiler. 78 overall, medium elite. And we have our first round pick as well. Andrew Andrews, welcome to Edmonton. He was the best player left in the draft as well. There was a defenseman of equal value, which we probably could have used more, but that's okay. And to be honest, I think our next pick here is also pretty straightforward. We might not even have to put it up to a vote. It's probably going to be Reese Fox. 17 medium elite, already has a pro shot. I think that's pretty straightforward. Someone like Dominic Fritz or Aldrich Prindis is, they're higher rated at the point, at this point, but the higher potential is obviously there. Medium elite gem. I don't put any stock into gems at this point, I gotta admit. Randy Clough. Yeah. I don't think it's a debate. I don't play all my modes of Fog of War off, but it makes more sense for YouTube and Twitch to have it off. So, I know we're gonna end up taking 2 high-rated forwards here, but that is what it is. And maybe we get a defenseman in the second round. But, yeah, for a medium elite to already have that pro shot, he's the right guy to take. I'm not even going to leave that up to a vote. He's the right guy to take. It is going to be Reese Fox of the Sudbury Wolves, who also joins this team. He's a 66 at 17 years old. So, we're not looking too bad. Not looking too bad at all. Actually, that's right. We don't have a second round pick now. We have our third. My bad. Still, we're good at finding steals. Do I think Kevin Hayes will be traded? Probably. I mean, if you're the Rangers, you probably should. All right. So, let's see who's left. It's just me, or did EA add in the name Nakis in the last week or so? Nah, it's been around. That is just you, because that name has been around. Sador might be worth it. DeAndre Brewer might also be worth it. So, no polls necessary for this draft, because the people had spoken with Andrew Andrews. Marks was fairly well-rounded. Dominguez also has a good shot. Tremblay. Can't quite tell, though. Starter gem of a goalie. Hoping for someone with good grades, because, again, you can often not trust this. Amazing grades for a fringe starter. Probably just going to sort by potential here in a second. See if we have any guarantees. Shook, what's going on, man? Hello! Gavin Gillies. Actually, 2 really good goalies. Where are we in terms of rankings right now? In the 70s. Gavin Gillies is the pick. For the sake of value, it's the only thing that makes sense. Gavin Gillies is the pick. Get ourselves a franchise goalie. Terrible overall. He'll probably be worth trade value, though. We could have traded down. It's fine, though. It's a 3rd round pick. We wouldn't have gotten much back. It would have been a 4th, an extra 5th or 6th round pick. And let's be honest, the odds of getting anything there, quite low. Unfortunately, the other goalie... No, actually, he is still here. McMillan. Don't mind if I do. Back-to-back goalie picks, but, you know, that makes sense for the sake of, I'm not going to say taking advantage of the AI, but, you know, if we ignore those players, we're openly, you know, we're handicapping ourselves if we ignore those players, and I agree that is why the game is a little bit easier to cheese, but that's how it goes. Do we have any good grades here for non-goaltenders? We don't. A lot of confirmed low elites, though, which is what intrigues me, with a couple of gems. Hello, Francisco Langkow. Yes, please. I know he's listed as the grinder, but he could be a solid power forward. I know he's not a gem, but again, I don't really care about gems. Just because even then they're not exactly guarantees. It's going to be a very forward-heavy draft. Like a very forward-heavy draft. But that's okay. Tomorrow's not looking that great, nor is Hillis. Alright, cool. Apparently it was 0 degrees out in Boston. How cold was it in Maine? I don't remember. It was single digits Fahrenheit, from what I remember. But I can't recall offhand. I was more impressed by Langkow. Let's do it. I know he's a grinder, but I like him. D-man helping free agency. Yeah, pretty much. 71 overall Langkow. Not bad. Ridiculous physical category. It's just whether or not the offense ends up being built up around him. But I'll take it. Just have an absolute destroyer on the team. It's fine by me. This isn't as bad of a draft I had recently with our 5 franchise goalie in one draft. I took them all. That's the way to do it. Alright, and for other low elites, so Moran is still there. He's the one I was most impressed by in terms of overall ratings. He is a year older. No defenseman in the group, though. Highest rated is Blanchard. So I like the grades on Moran a little bit more. He's a little bit more developed than Blanchard. I'm going to go for Eli Moran. Let's do it. He's going to have that higher starting overall. 68 low elite. I will take it. And I believe... Do we have our 7th still? Oh shit, we actually have an extra 6th round pick. We'll be able to get somebody else too. Not bad. Not bad. And we'll be able to pick up Marlowe as another gem. Let's do it. Erin Marlowe. Very... very forward-heavy draft. Marlowe's a 55. But I'm more about taking the best player available. Don't draft for need. You can make trades. Take the best player available. And that is exactly what we've done. So again, we have a bunch of medium elites here. Not confirmed, though, and there's only one defenseman. So we could take the risk with Giordano. Frazee is another confirmed low elite. That would be the safe bet. Reza, not quite confirmed. We have that gem who's absolutely terrible. And then Lucas Bailey, that we can't trust either. Okay. So, it's got to be Giordano or Frazee. And I'd rather take the guarantee. Let's go for Maxwell Frazee. 18-year-old American. He's going to have a really low overall, but that's okay. He is a 50. He'll have a little bit of trade value, though, and might even develop. So, that was a fairly ridiculous draft for us. We trade up to get Andrew Andrews, which was pretty damn cheap. We end up getting Fox as well, the 2 goalies, Gillies and McMillan. I don't think we drafted somebody under a low elite potential, did we? I'm pretty sure every single player was low or medium elite, which is absolutely ridiculous. Again, there was no controversy in terms of, oh, who do we draft? Let's bring it to a straw poll. There was no reason to do that. It's just, yep, straightforward. Ice Dogs, take it easy, man. Fairly straightforward. Just draft the best players available after trading up to get Andrew Andrews, who will probably be signed. Alright, let's see what the contract situation's looking like. Cody as well. Take it easy, buddy. Catch you later. So, Carter Hutton's deal is up. We're going to let him go as planned. It was a 1-year test run. And let the record show, I kept Mikko Koskinen here for his entire contract. I can't speak, but that's okay. I kept him here for the entire goddamn contract. So, he is finally gone, though. And we have Knight, Rodriguez, and Wallstead. We'll figure it out from there. Ekman, Larson, Gillies, and McMillan, who might all just come down to trade value more than anything. Defensemen, we still have the core locked up. Sealer and Taves will be let go of. They were signed for role purposes this year. Caden Goulet will be signed to his ELC. Knight and Wallstead. Oh, I know. I know. It's a bunch of young goalies. It sure is. But that's okay. Colton Saucerman, who we signed, we are going to ditch for the moment, but he'll probably be back. Malhotra's going to go. I'm actually going to drop Ott. I don't think he's really going to have any trade value, and I don't think he's going to make it. I'd rather wait to see who's on the free agent list, so shockingly, I'm going to let him go. Right wings, Yamamoto. Needs a deal. He's not even looking for that much. Let's go 3x3. That would work for me. Actually, what was his production this year? 40, was it? Actually, Yamamoto did really well. He did really well. We're going to try to cheese this contract. Why do prospects grow slow? They don't always. We have 87 overall 19-year-olds that we looked at before, but yeah, some prospects don't develop. It's the way it is. It's actually the way I'd prefer it. Sometimes some players develop, sometimes they don't. There doesn't seem to be consistency in that. There's no guarantee. Let's go 3.6 over 8 years, which is just absurd. But if he accepts it, hopefully continues to develop. That might stunt his development like longer contracts used to, but I'm okay with that. Gotta be honest, the medium 9 trio here of Lodnia, Safin, and Maximoff I'm gonna ditch. They make Bakersfield better, but I'd rather see who's available on the free agent list than, you know, waste time with them and just having Bakersfield be better. Oh my god. Dig, I might bring him back, but for now, I'm good with getting rid of him. There's a chance they could come back, but again, they're medium 9s. They're bottom 6 guys at best. So, I'm going to sign Langkow to that ELC to get him playing in Bakersfield immediately. Dicka, the Norwegian, is going to be dropped. And elsewhere, we're fine. Left wings, Gusev, we're going to drop. We only brought him in for the year. And Tyler Benson's not going to get that much better either. We're going to drop him too. We are cleaning house. Moran cannot be signed. At center, Patainen, who really hasn't taken off in terms of development. We're going to look to lock him up long term as well. Again, whether or not these type of contracts still stunt the development, I haven't experimented around with it too much, so I'm going to do it right now. And try to get these max deals set up now. Don't forget the one defender that you have to sign, or else they go to free agents, just in case you missed them. Did I miss somebody? I didn't miss him. I signed him. There's an offer there. And the top 9 rolls are almost always better in the bottom 6 roll than the top 6. Yeah, well, pretty much. Because they more often than not have the more defensive game, like you said. That's how it works. Suzuki is not going to develop at this point. He's still looking for a 2-way deal. So we're going to sign him to this, and Nick Suzuki's probably going to be dealt. So who knows, maybe Montreal was onto something letting go of him. I'm going to bring back Radish. You know, I'm actually not worried about him having trade value. I'm going to let him go. I don't think he's going to develop. He's not a part of the future on my team. I got to be honest. Nor is good old Texier here. And I shouldn't have had him to begin with. I'm going to let them both go. I don't think they're going to be that good. I shouldn't have had them in the first place. It was, you know, they were only here because the AI was dumb enough to get rid of them. I'm going to let them go. They're not going to be a part of the future of this team. Obviously, I can sign them and flip them and get picks back. I'm not going to pick Horde in this instance, all right? I am going to sign Andrew Andrews, though. And we'll see if he plays down in Bakersfield. Lipanov, same thing. We never should have had anyway. I'm going to ditch him. Jake and Smallwood, though. I'd rather have low elites and top 6. Wait. I don't know, 6 elites and 9s than elites and top 6s. I get what you mean, but still it's kind of written weirdly. Fuck it. We're signing Jake and Smallwood. Bakersfield captain. And Hedman, who was a complete swing and miss of a 6th round pick, going to be gone. So, there we go. Looking okay. Just running prospects out of Edmonton. Only to then raid the free agent list. So Yamamoto rejected the 8-year deal, which is fine. Suzuki signed, Smallwood signed, Goulet. Potainen signed the 8-year deal, though. Langkow and Andrews have signed. So Yamamoto's smart. He didn't sign the 8-year deal. Very smart of him. He has the only expiring contract left. So I'm just going to sign him. $4 million for 8 years. We'll see if he does it. It's still a really good contract. And there's a chance he's going to get better. Yep, there we go. Quick and easy. Quick and easy. So let's see what the free agent list brings. For some reason I signed my 34-year-old goalie to an 8-year deal. I mean, if you could, you know, save on the cap hit, that's fine. But if he doesn't retire, then you're brutal. Alpha, we did not select a player under low elite. Well, there's that defensive help we were talking about in the draft. We have $28 million in cap space. And needless to say, there's some defensive help. Whew. Needless to say, there's some defensive help right there. I mean, it's going to be Morgan Rielly or Seth Jones, one or the other. Probably not all three, but technically we could afford all three. Let's look at the squad as it stands right now. So, I mean, again, goaltending-wise, I'm going to check who's out on the open market. But for the most part, we wait to see if Spencer Knight develops. Defensively, we already have Ty Barry to go alongside Clefbaum. Darnell Nurse is still there. So we're going to sign at least one of them. Like, we got to sign at least one of them. And then, of course, there is the debate as far as, like, oh, well, do you want to trade away one of these guys and see what happens? We'll see. Maybe we do go just stupid and sign all three of them and then trade away some people if we have to. And then forward-wise, I mean, our top three is set. Jesus Christ. A little bit of depth could help, but I think we might have the help already. So, we shall see. It depends on what the full market looks like. But there's a chance we could sign all three. Oh, boy. Alright. So let's see. Goalie-wise. I told you Ottinger was going to hit the free agent list. I told you. I told you Ottinger was going to hit that free agent market. I knew. Shap, you showed up at a lovely time. I told you they were going to be dumb enough to keep Bishop and lose Ottinger. I told you. Shap, you're amazing. You're amazing. You get this because you deserve it. This is worthy of a 1-year celebration, Shap. Emote spam, please. Shap, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Thank you for the 1 year. You absolute beauty. I cannot thank you enough. Let's move on, shall we? I love that so much. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Shap, you're the man. You're the absolute man. So, I know there was the talk of what to do with our defense. Now the question is, what the hell do we do with our goaltending? We have Spencer Knight. We have Wallstead. We have Rodrigue. I mean, shit, even Joe Wall and Thatcher Demko are there. Granted, Demko's not going to get that much better. He's kicking a dead horse in terms of this game's terrible AI. Well, that's the one thing that I'm factoring in, is that a lot of times high-rated goalies don't dominate. And unlike with Spencer Knight, if he develops, we're going to be able to dictate what kind of contract he gets. With Oettinger, we're at the mercy of probably having to pay him $8.5 to $9 million just to get him. And yeah, Vancouver let go of Demko. So, we don't need someone like Joe Wall. I think that would just be diminishing returns, depending on how much better he gets. America's future. Fair point. This is a very big off-season for this team. This is a very big off-season for this team. So, again, we have Knight, we have Rodrigue, we have Wallstead. Knight's still signed for 2 more years, too. Wow. Oh, God, I come to the stream and the first thing you say is Vancouver let go of Demko. Brent, you showed up at a great time, buddy. You showed up at a lovely time. If it helps at all, it is because Michael DiPietro developed into an absolute stud. Kind of. I mean, he's an 84. So I'm going to guess that's why. It's at least because DiPietro developed. And if it makes you feel any better, which, I mean, he's not a 99, but if it makes you feel any better, you know, they were at least smart enough to sign Pettersson to under $9 million. So they got that going for him. Boy, I don't know what the hell to do in terms of who the hell we even look to sign here, because there's far too many options. Far too many options. Because of bad AI. Well, as if Jake Oettinger hitting the open market wasn't a good enough piece of evidence for the AI needing a little bit more work. We'll revisit this, but there's a chance we're signing a goalie too. In terms of prospects, Sorokin, and then Wall's the highest rated, so it would be Oettinger, Demko, or Wall. How did Wall do? Because I know he was Toronto's backup last year. 905 in 28 games, his first year in the NHL. Problem with Wall is he's not going to get much better. He's going to be similar to Rodrigue. So, like, at best, he probably caps out where Demko is at an 86, right? Demko had a 9... Wow. Oh, my God. The AI is so bad. Demko had a 920 save percentage last year, and they still let go of him. Damn. And then Oettinger, last year in Dallas, had a 922. We'll revisit this. Game needs an AI tuner. What the hell is it doing? I know, man. I know. And then defensively, I mean, again, it's got to be Rielly and or Jones. I don't think we'd sign PK. I mean, he's really good for the price, but he's going to drop off harshly over the next 2 years. Didn't EA advertise smart AI for this game? Smarter in terms of knowing what their depth chart was, allegedly. Also, Vancouver let go of Quinn Hughes. X-Tech, you might want to leave. We'll see you later, buddy. We'll see you later. Quinn Hughes' development was also stunted. For whatever reason, he just didn't develop. So, oof. We'll probably look to sign Quinn Hughes, though, for obvious reasons, if we can get him. A lot of teams are interested. And then Kaminsky, who we just traded to trade up to get Andrew Andrews, also hit the open market. So I could try to sign him again and immediately deal him. Kravchenko and then Ott, who we let go of. This is a very big offseason for us. With the exception of forwards. There's no one we really need there. Like, Alex Kerfoot's not going to help us, and Lord knows we have enough forward prospects after that last draft. This is the time to sort out our defense and goaltending issues. For sure. Who's Brenberg? Bernd Brenberg. Might be worth signing for the value. And then again, like, we let go of Alex Tessier. And Tyler Benson. I'm not too concerned about those two. We also let go of Taylor Radish, which I kind of regret, but he's more of an offensive force than defensively or physically oriented. So I'm not too worried about not bringing him back. I mean, we have 35 roster spots, too. Vancouver wins the Cup next year. They probably will. That's the best part. They probably will. All right. We got to play this wisely. $28 million in space. Forward-wise, I'm thinking of signing probably the top three, as in Tessier, Radish, and Bremberg. In terms of bringing in, like, actual help now, we don't have to do that. We don't have to waste that money. Defensively, Quinn Hughes is definitely getting an offer. Kaminsky, Kravchenko, and I'll probably send Ott an offer again as well. And then goalie-wise, it's Ottinger, maybe Demko. Just because, again, I mean, I'm a fan of Thatcher Demko, of course. Mike, what's going on, man? It's going very well. So Ottinger might run us $9 million. Quinn Hughes is going to run us at least 3 if we're going to outbid teams for him. We can make this happen. I think we can send offers to pretty much all the top guys. I think we can pull this off. Again, I think we have to rule out PK just due to his age and the fact that, you know, suddenly we're signing a goaltender, either Ottinger or Demko. Vancouver rebuilds well for 3 years. That's an amazing prospect pool. In fairness, when we looked at Vancouver at the deadline, they were looking pretty damn good. Not anymore. Not anymore. That's how quickly that happens. I feel like we have to sign Ottinger. I feel like we have to. Again, our goaltending situation's already ridiculous, but it's more potential than anything. The problem with Demko is eventually he's going to get jumped by Knight or Wallstead, if not both. Whereas with Ottinger, he's pretty much the guy. So, like, I'm going to sign either Ottinger or Demko, and I'm probably going to leave it up to you guys with a poll. Then defensively, I think we look at Jones and Morgan Rielly. Probably move Clefbaum or Nurse. Maybe even Ty Barry with him being the oldest. If we miss out on either Rielly or Jones, then we go for PK. And then forward-wise, I'm going to sign a couple of bit parts. So, let's see. Hey, beautiful menu lag. Beautiful menu lag. Trade Wallstead no matter what the next draft. Yeah. Grey Dog, take it easy. It will be up on YouTube tomorrow, so you'll be able to watch it and catch up. So, Ottinger is looking for about $3 million on the dot more than Demko. So here's the thing with Ottinger, right? Medium elite, 23 years old. For those who care about the poise stat, even though it's meaningless, it's an 85. Last year he had a .922 save percentage in 57 games for Dallas. And then there's Thatcher Demko again. I don't think we're going to rule in Joseph Wall here. Because, again, he's going to cap out where Demko already is. Demko, again, he's not going to get much better, but he had a .920 save percentage last year for the Canucks. And, again, you might not care about the poise rating. I know I don't, and it's low for Demko, which, in my opinion, doesn't mean anything. So, there is only one way to handle this. And we didn't have to make this choice for the draft because people, you know, people pretty much made up their minds immediately. It's going to a poll. It's going to a poll. Look at goalie playoff stats. I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know if they made it. So, Ottinger did make the playoffs with Dallas and made it to the Cup and lost to Philly from the looks of it. 2021-22. So yeah, Dallas lost to Philly. So Ottinger made it to the Cup final, but really struggled and is probably the reason why Dallas lost the cup. Whereas Thatcher Demko had a .941 save percentage in 6 games, but the Canucks were eliminated in the first round. So Ottinger's team made it to a final, but he's arguably the reason why they lost. Demko eliminated in the first round, but was phenomenal. With that in mind, it's time to vote. What will the tribe say? Who's it gonna be? We need a majority. An overwhelming majority. Will it be Ottinger, 90 overall medium elite who struggled in the playoffs, or Thatcher Demko? It's going to be close, too. It's going to be real close. And if it's a tie, then we sign Joseph Wall. Ottinger has taken the lead. This is intense. We are deadlocked at 18 votes apiece. If you are in chat and have not voted, now is the time. You are deciding our future here. I don't know if I want it to be separated by 1 vote. Ottinger has the lead. Last time I checked the chat, there's 100 some odd people in here. We need to get to at least 50. Ottinger starting to break away. It might be Ottinger. Another vote for Demko. Ottinger might have this. It is very close. Oh my God. 3 votes separate the two. All right. What we're going to do. We are going to jump back into the results once we go elsewhere and sign other players. It's still so close. There are 3 votes separating the two. So we'll leave it up to that. We'll revisit it. We will revisit it in a moment. So for now, we go over to defense. And we're going to handle this first. And we're going to try to sign Morgan Rielly. Toronto's the only other team interested. And we can knock down the price a little bit by making it a 7-year deal. I feel like 8x7 is the best way to sign Rielly and outduel Toronto. So that's the first offer out. And then Seth Jones as well. We're going to go 7.25 over 7 years and see if that is enough to outduel Detroit. Again, PK is the backup plan. We're also going to send this offer out to Quinn Hughes, which everybody and their mother is interested in. So I'm going to offer him the 1 year, drop it down to 2.5, and hope for the best just to get him under control. Smalls, what's going on, man? So we have offers out for Rielly, Jones, and Hughes. Subban is the backup plan in case one of the two rejects. And then forward-wise, just to take care of this as well, we're going to throw our name into the hat for Bremberg, the max offer we can send. And I'm going to wait for Radish and Tessier just to see what happens salary-wise. So going back to the vote, still just 3 votes separate the two. If you guys have not voted, this is it. You're making that decision for us. Ottinger has the lead. I just spammed the poll link one more time. If you haven't voted, you got a chance. I don't know if it's going to be the first to 30, but Ottinger has that slight edge right now. But I don't know if 3 votes is enough to separate them with as big of a decision as it is. Will the numbers change at all? Has everyone voted who wanted to vote? Is it going to be Jake Ottinger? One more vote for Demko. One more vote for Ottinger. 28-26. I don't know if we've had a poll that was this, we've had 50-50s before. This is damn close. This is damn close. You guys have to make it difficult, don't you? You have to make it difficult, don't you? Are we going to a Florida recount? We might be. It's still just 2 votes. 2 votes separate the two. There was an extra vote for Demko. It's now 28-27, which does not help. The issue with sending both an offer is that if both accept, that's going to screw us out of getting one of our 2 defensemen, if not both of them. So that is why we cannot send both an offer immediately. And the issue is both goaltenders already have offers. 3 offers for Demko, 1 for Oettinger. So 1 vote separates the 2. Alright, here's how we're doing this. Alright? It's going to a revote. The first goalie to get 20 votes in support of taking them is who gets signed. It's now a race. It was basically 50-50. Oettinger won by 1 vote. That is not enough. It will be the first goaltender to hit 20 votes in their favor. That is who we will be sending an offer to. Poll is out. Here we go. Who's it gonna be? First one to hit 20. Thatcher Demko is being signed. The Canucks fans have spoken. Thatcher Demko is getting the offer. It's how quick it happens. Now we are going to go with that 3-year deal. And we're going to bump it up to 5.8 and hope that that's enough. Might kind of want to go up to 6. And again, unfortunately, you can't re-edit offers once you put them out there. So. Again, 1 vote separated the 2 of them. We needed a tiebreaker. Trying to think of what the money's going to be here. What's the point of a vote? There was 1 vote difference for Oettinger. I'm not going to have a vote be decided off of 1 vote. Count it as a revote. I'm an American, damn it. You think I care about voting? This guy won by 1 vote. Electoral college. Electoral college. I need to see exactly how much money we've sent out. So Rielly was 8. Jones was about 7. I think we can offer, especially too because Demko's cheaper than Oettinger, we can offer him the 6 mil. We can offer him the 6 mil. And those are our big contracts for the moment. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And again, there are a couple of forwards I'm keeping an eye on. We'll see what happens from there. It was 4 votes for Oettinger? It was not. It literally wasn't. But that's okay. I mean, literally, if you want the proof, the poll right now is at 28 apiece, the original poll, and then here was the revote. So, I think the people had spoken. I think the peoples had spoken. Alright. Sim another day here. Still no answers. And again, unfortunately, at one point Oettinger was winning by a lot. Yeah, and then he didn't. Oettinger was never ahead by more than 3 or 4 votes. Oettinger was never ahead by more than 4 votes. So, I left it up to the people, dog. If it was up to me, I would have signed Oettinger. Because if at least he didn't work, he'd have more trade value, and we could trade him and still have Wallstead and Spencer Knight. So if it was up to me, I would have signed Oettinger. The people had spoken. It is what it is. It's a video game. Who gives a fuck? Again, I wish I could send higher offers to make sure. This is pretty much going to be the moment of truth. Bremberg has signed. We get a trade offer for Derek Forbort that will decline. Wow, it's going to a 5th day. It's going to a 5th day. It's going to be over an 84. Potentially not. That's the problem, Dig. Potentially not. God damn. So we still have 4 contract offers out. We need these to go through. Here we go. Here we go. Quinn Hughes has rejected and gone to Columbus. So a pretty big get for the Blue Jackets. Wow, we're going to a 5th day. Really? A 5th day? Seth Jones has signed. What about Demko? What about Morgan Rielly? Morgan Rielly has rejected and gone to Vancouver. Thatcher Demko has signed. So we get 2 out of 4. Quinn Hughes goes to Columbus. Morgan Rielly goes to Vancouver. PK Subban, however, is still on the open market and will be our next target. So, would have been nice to get Morgan Rielly. At the very least, we can sign PK. And I'm going to try to get him... this is a tough one because I feel like he might decline relatively quickly. We have $16 million in cap space. Joe Wall is still there, but we don't need him. That really sucks to have not gotten Quinn Hughes. I'm actually... Oh, shit, Kravchenko. I'm actually not sure if we're going to be able... Damn it. I don't know. I'm not sure if Quinn Hughes is going to develop, was the point that I was going to make. Unfortunately, Radish is off the board. I'm going to bring back Tessier here. And we're going to try to sign PK. It's not going to be for that long of a contract. I'm not going to sign Tatar. At least not right now. Let's go 3 years in case we have to buy him out. I'm willing to pay him a little bit more now. We'll see if that works. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. See what happens. Get a trade off for Joel Edmondson. I'm fine with not taking that. Ott has signed. Tessier has signed. Kravchenko signs. What about PK? Technically, we don't need PK, but still, Boris, what's going on, man? PK Subban, welcome to Edmonton. So we miss out on Quinn Hughes and Morgan Rielly, but we bring in Thatcher Demko, Seth Jones, and PK Subban. So, Gooby, I had seen what he was asking for. The point is, though, I've seen some very sharp drop-offs already with guys like Getzlaf, Fleury, that I'm a little bit afraid that he could drop off very quickly. And I don't want to be stuck with too long of a contract or a contract that would be difficult to trade. So, we still have $11 million in space. Again, goalie-wise, we are fine. Chris Letang is actually still on the market, but defensively we're fine. Forward-wise, unfortunately, Thomas Tatar is off the market. Riley Smith and David Perron are there, though. Let's see what we got. Sorry, people. Tatar's off the board. Otherwise, I might have for the memes, but... Let's see here. That's our top 9. 10, 11, and 12. How the offense looks... Can we at least get the... You can. I'm not going to play the full thing, though, to avoid... You know. There you go. It's about signing him for 1 year. True. I mean, we had the money to do that, but I was also thinking, you know, of maybe bringing in a couple of other people. I was wanting to be a little bit cautious with the cap. Just a bit. Because right now, as it is, our forward core, it does kind of depend on who develops. But, on the flip side, we have 5 defensemen who are top 4 at worthy. So, we could always flip somebody to look to bring in a forward. I'd guess this upcoming year, though, our defense is Subban Jones, Barry Clefbaum, Nurse, and Andrechuk, with Fitzgerald as the depth. It's probably the likely setup. So, Shook, take it easy, man. I think we might stand pat for the moment. Wait to see what kind of development we get over the offseason, and take it from there. Unless Smith or Perron had crazy numbers over the last season, I'm not going to say I'm overly interested. So, David Perron at this point. 45 points last year is not bad. And Rielly Smith, 50. We're going for it. I know Rielly Smith wants 6 years. We're going for it, though. I think our time has arrived. I think we're going for it here. We have the money to sign both of them. We're doing it. We're doing it. Within 4 seasons, we have compiled... Wow, David Perron goes to Ottawa. He didn't even have an offer. Rielly Smith does sign. David Perron. How much money did Ottawa offer him? That's what I want to know. I didn't even see that he had an offer from Ottawa. Alright. That's cool. We're not going to sign anybody else. At the very least, we get Rielly Smith on a decent contract for the season. And again, we still have other prospects. We still have other prospects coming up. So, very quickly, we have developed one hell of a prospect pool. Quickly, I mean, 4 years without being overly cheap. Yeah, dig. I'll check to see where everybody else went. Relatively quickly without being overly cheap, right? Like, again, I held on to Mikko Koskinen. I'm not the one who initiated trades for Chris Russell, Milan Lucic. The AI came to me. Without being overly cheap, we have had one hell of a prospect pool develop. And then, of course, taking advantage of the cap space, free agency. We've done quite well. I told this to stop like 30 seconds ago, so we'll see if it does. But a couple of trades as well. Nothing too crazy at the top. Scott Darling dealt to Vegas. Vegas loves trading for goalies. So let's see. Toronto signs Chason, Robinson, Sorensen, and Bobby Ryan. Ryan Hartman. Pickard to Montreal. Yaroslav Halak to Toronto. I'm looking for more of the big names. There are obvious names here, but nothing too crazy. Gusev to Washington. Play him with Ovechkin, please. Toronto also signed Letang. Again, Perron to Ottawa. We ended up getting Rielly Smith. I'm looking for the likes of Tatar at this point. We ended up with PK. Grizzlick to St. Louis. Tatar to Ottawa. Wow, Ottawa. Fuckers. They get David Perron and Thomas Tatar as well. Nick Bonino back to Pittsburgh. Pekka Rinne gets a 3-year deal at like 38 years old, which is nuts. Tuukka Rask to St. Louis. Of course, we get Demko and Jones. Ottinger to Ottawa as well. Jesus Christ. So everybody we didn't get went to Ottawa, outside of Morgan Rielly going to Vancouver and Quinn Hughes going to the Blue Jackets. Everybody else went to Ottawa. Taylor Radish ended up at Anaheim. Quinn Hughes and Nazem Kadri. Damn. Damn. Big offseason for the Sens. Big offseason for the Sens. To the next season we go. I'm excited to see what this team looks like heading into this next season. The amount of potential that we have, especially when you factor in who has progressed. This team's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Ottawa Edmonton final. Could happen. Could happen. Excited to see if it does. I love, though, for anybody who's like, oh my god, poise, it means everything. Like, Thatcher Demko, 73 poise, 941 save percentage. Ottinger had like an 85 and is the reason his team lost the cup final. Sean, what's going on, man? What's happening? Oh boy, the Demko era begins in Ottawa. Not in Ottawa, in Edmonton. The Ottinger era begins in Ottawa. Franchise mode's easy. It really is. It really is. Even when you try to not be overly cheap, it still happens. So, first things first. Again, I still can't sign Moran, and Fox was on Sudbury, was he? Yeah. So, don't gotta worry about signing anybody else. Was I a popular kid? Fuck no. Kidding me? I had a lot of friends, but not really. I was the buffer between I have friends who are quite popular, I have friends who aren't popular at all. Somewhere in between. Put it this way, though. Not exactly, I also, again, I've talked about it before, I missed a shitload of time in school. Thanks to anxiety and depression issues. So that was fun. Alright, let's see. Goalers. Spencer Knight does, in fact, jump up to an 84. Rodrigue jumped up to an 82. Right. Right. Now, I'm not against running Spencer Knight as a backup for the next season because he kind of struggled in his first year as a backup behind Carter Hutton. I'm not against running Rodrigue in the AHL as well. So, we're still looking okay. I'd prefer to go with Demko. Whether or not he's our long-term solution, probably not. But, Dag, you did indeed call it. He developed a little bit higher than I thought he would. Oh, God. FHM's much tougher. Yeah. It's also more... It's still random, though. How many kids are in my grade? I don't know how many kids are in my graduating class. Again, I'm not from a large area. So. Oh, God. Fable Taz. Appreciate the follow. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, big development for Andrew. Okay. Yeah, we got an issue here. We might have to make some tough decisions. I'm not against trading Rodrigue either. I thought he would be the backup. But yeah, defensively... PK already dropped a point, by the way. So... yeah, we're gonna have to make some moves here. Alright, who do we got for forwards? So that's our top 10, 11, 12. And Tessier took the jump up. Andrews can spend the season down in the AHL. So our second line sorted at least. It'll be Penner, Yamamoto, Smith. Third line of Patine and O'Brien, Delandria. So we're at least good on that front. Tough call here. Tough call. Big moves to make, though. Let's see what we got trade value-wise. Patine was a bit of a bust. Somewhat, yeah. But a decent second liner at this point. Alright. So in goal, we have ridiculous trade values, of course. Rodrigue is going to cap out at an 86 at best. The Demko signing was a little bit unnecessary. I'm thinking if we didn't, we could have gotten that little bit of extra forward help, but that's okay. It wouldn't have helped as far as like defense is concerned, because I didn't want to throw too much money there. We have so many valuable goalies too. Again, I'm alright with Knight being a backup. I'm probably just going to keep the goaltending the way it is for this season. More than likely. Again, the morale system's not on, so I don't have to worry about it too much. I'm not against stunting Rodrigue's development, because I don't think he's going to get that much better anyway. As a starter, like 86 is at best what you're hoping for. I'm a little bit worried about Knight's development stunting, but it shouldn't be too big of an issue. I think our goaltending situation's good for the moment. I think it's good for the moment. So we're just going to sign somebody random. Defense is the problem. Defense is the problem. Unless I run Sandin and Bouchard down in the AHL. A little bit worried about stunting their development. But I'm also not against essentially trying to win the cup this year. You know what? I don't think I'm worried about stunting development. I think I want to win as soon as possible. And we have a good opportunity to do that this year. So let's see. Goalie-wise, again, I need to sign somebody random. Defensively, with injuries off, we're going to send down these 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jesus Christ. Alright, we might still have to trade somebody here, because we have a lot. You went too crazy at free agents. Not necessarily, it's just more people developed than I thought. More people took a larger step forwards than I thought they would. That's kind of the issue. So, let me at the very least take care of signing this random ass goalie. Which will come in handy even if I decide to trade somebody or not. Like I said, I'm having to decide. Wow, Joe Wall ended up just outright being a free agent, huh? Is there a veteran goalie? Luongo, still kicking. I will have Roberto Luongo be our 5th goalie. Granted, injuries aren't on. I don't have to. I actually don't need another goalie. We're good. I keep forgetting that we had injuries on. Turned them off. Because they were just being a little bit ridiculous. Can we look in the Knight and Subban for Rielly, right? That's the thing. I don't know if I want to trade. I don't know if I want to trade Knight. I'm intrigued to see what Knight can do. But he wasn't that great at the NHL level last year, and we were almost a playoff team. The only reason I'd consider trading Spencer Knight is if we potentially stunt his development by having him be a backup as opposed to a starter, right? That's the only reason. Rodrigue, I'm not really worried about his development at this point. He was the best goaltender in the AHL last season, though, with a ridiculous .934. So, you could argue that he deserves an opportunity to be an NHL backup. So, I mean, I could trade Spencer Knight, run Rodrigue as the backup. I know that we have Wallstead behind Knight, but it's Spencer Knight, man. And the issue is, if we trade Spencer Knight, who the hell do we even go for? I guess another legitimate top 2 defenseman and probably get rid of Barry, Clefbaum, or Nurse. That way we don't get in trouble for trading Jones or PK too early. Let's see if there's a fit, at least. Is there a team, preferably not in the Western Conference? Hello, Charlie McAvoy. Oh, Boston needs a goalie, too. Alright, so we have one fit, that being Charlie McAvoy. The Sabres need a goalie. They don't. Boston right now is the ideal target. Carolina doesn't need another goalie. Nope. God, freaking finger keeps slipping. Detroit doesn't necessarily need a goalie now, or they have prospects, but still. Do you have a defenseman I'm interested in? Not really. Boston's still the ideal target here. Florida could work too. Boston and Florida right now, the 2 ideal targets. Carey Price dropped 4 overall points over the past season. Islanders could also kind of use somebody here. They don't have the defenseman, though. Rangers. No, Shesterkin's good. Ottawa, of course, very good. Poor Philip Gustafson. Philly, also set with Carter Hart. Pittsburgh set with Matt Murray. Tampa has Vassie, obviously. Leafs still have Anderson. And Washington still has Holtby. It is Boston or Florida. Boston has nobody in the system either. Florida, nobody in the system. Montembeault is a... So, it would come down to trading for Ekblad, Vanainen, or Charlie McAvoy. Obviously, Ekblad is outright a top 2 defenseman. 27 points last year. I'm not necessarily wanting to get a defenseman who can put up points. They don't have to. I'd rather have some of the points go towards the offense. McAvoy, 7.2 for 3 years. And Ekblad, 7.5 for 3 years. Ekblad's under a longer contract. Boston actually might not be able to do this. Are they going to be too far under the cap floor because Spencer Knight doesn't have... No, yeah, they still can do it. I'm not going to go for Veninen because that doesn't really help. Like, I know he's looking good, obviously, but he's not going to be a massive improvement on Clefbaum or Ty Berry. Like, I'm looking for another true, absolutely, undoubted top 2 defenseman right now. Florida makes more sense. How so? How does Florida make more sense when both teams desperately need a goalie? Florida technically has a better player now in goal. So... what's Boston listed as? Rebuilder, Florida, hopeful. Does Florida have interest in Knight? Why are you even looking to deal Knight? The justification for dealing Spencer Knight, right, is that we have Demko for now, we run Rodriguez the backup, and then we still have Wallstead in the system, who is likely to go up 5 overall points within 2 years. So, I mean, we get rid of Knight, we have Rodriguez the backup, and then we bring in that extra bit of defensive help to really put us over the top in terms of just ridiculousness. And I think I'm on board with it. I haven't tried a ton of Football Manager. I have last year's game, thanks to a viewer. But it's just one of those games, just like Out of the Park Baseball, I just don't have time for. There's no way I could add it into regular rotation. It would be play the hell out of it and then just, like, not touch it for months. So... if we're getting ridiculous, let's get ridiculous. Canadian, take it easy, man. If we're getting ridiculous, let's get ridiculous, because I think ideally it would be Nurse or Clefbaum who gets dealt here. Obviously. I know Ekblad would have the extra year of the contract, but it's not worth it because Florida's not interested in Knight, and we need that little bit of extra value that comes with them being interested. So again, McAvoy, Jones, Subban, Barry, third line, or third pairing of Andreychuk with either Clefbaum or Nurse. That's the real question. How did Darnell do last year? Because we're going all in this year. Darnell, that's right. He was a minus 30 last year. Clefbaum at least had the 18 points. I think it's got to be Darnell. Just for how badly he struggled last year. I think it's got to be him. Now, I know Clefbaum is on an expiring deal, but I'm not too concerned. We have $11 million in cap space before doing this deal. So, I'm not too concerned. Plus, we're going all in this year. How close is that to being a done deal? Because we obviously have a few more pieces that we can negotiate with. Including Fitzgerald, who they're interested in. They have too many skaters, shit. Alright, who do I have for unsigned prospects? Now see, this is where we can add a little bit more value. How close are we now? So they'd say yes if I wasn't looking for salary retention, which is fine. Which is fine. Let's see. Anybody who makes sense to add? Definitely not Moran. 59. Yeah, that's gonna be a bit too much. Frazee, though, being a 50. And Bremberg, who we just signed, so I don't want to ditch him too early. Bonks is under contract. Add Bonks. You're really worried about defense? Not necessarily, but it makes sense to go over the top with it. What do you have on an expiring deal? Who doesn't have any trade value? Frolik makes a bit too much. Alright, that's not going to work. Take out Bonks. And let's add in Frazee. How close are we now, Boston? I really do want to get McAvoy on half salary. So Knight, we move Darnell Nurse, use Spencer Knight to get the defensive improvement. Ekman Larson and Frazee are tack-ons that we don't necessarily need, that have value. What if we use this third? How close are we now? I'm alright with using the second too, because we're so stacked in terms of being able to get late round steals. Alright. Start slowly knocking this down. Let's see if we can get any sort of retention on McAvoy. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Not looking too good. I could use Gillies in goal. I'd like to avoid that, though. But if I want to get retention on McAvoy, that'd be the best way to do it. Is just to put the ridiculous amount of value onto the side of this deal. Let's see. Trade difficulties on hard. I don't really want to use Gillies in this deal, though. Goulet, Kravchenko, Skula. I know I just re-signed Ott. I don't really want to get in trouble for using him. I can't necessarily use any other signed players because they'd be full on contracts. Forward-wise, there's got to be somebody that makes sense to use here. There's got to be somebody. Norton's going to take forever to develop, but I don't know if I want to use him here. Moran at a low elite's too good to give up. And then Swift sucks, so... This is the problem with trying to trade for a player that the AI doesn't want to give up on, right? So... We use Knight because we have Wallstead. Get rid of Nurse because we're getting the upgrade of McAvoy. Ekman Larson and Frazee don't really matter. Norton's the one that could kind of hurt. But I'm not totally against it. Now the issue is that they don't have picks that are worth taking on. How close are we? That's the real question. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna make this work. Slowly but surely whittle away these picks. Take out the second. Go for that extra third, see how close we can get. Spencer Knight, Darnell Nurse, Ekman Larson, Frazee, and Norton for Charlie McAvoy and 2 third-rounders. McAvoy on half salary, by the way. So again, we're using McAvoy to get an upgrade on Darnell Nurse. Or, you know, McAvoy and Nurse offset. Ekman Larson and Frazee don't really matter. They're probably not going to develop. Norton Kind of sucks to give up, but we have enough prospects to overcome that. And then Spencer Knight. We have Wallstead. And running Knight as a backup for one season could stunt his development a little bit. We have Demko signed. We have Wallstead in the system, who's on a better progression pace than Knight is himself. Fuck it. Let's live a little. Welcome to Edmonton, Charlie McAvoy. On half salary, mind you. So it's going to be Rodrigue who gets the call up. Demko Rodrigue. We need to sign a goalie for the AHL. Defense is Jones, McAvoy, Subban, Barry, Clefbaum, and Andrechuk. And down in the AHL, I'm a little bit worried about stunting development of Sandin and Bouchard. Not all that concerned, though. Because we can scratch guys like... I mean, they'll be the top pairing. Guys like Fitzgerald and Ciccone will probably be healthy scratches. And then forward-wise, we're good to start the year. And potentially make changes. We have other defensemen as well to make changes closer to deadline day. So, let's see. And indeed, Luongo is my planned signing. So, yeah, we have $9.5 million in cap space right now. After that trade. So, it's like, I know Clefbaum is an upcoming free agent. But Nurse was pretty shit last year. Like, his D-pairing partner wasn't that bad. He shouldn't have been as poor as he was last year. So, easy enough move. We're going to bring in Luongo. He'll be the backup for Bakersfield. And that is true. That's the other big factor. Is not only would Spencer Knight have been a backup, but Wallstead would have been a backup down in the AHL as well. So, had we not signed Demko, then Spencer Knight would probably be our starter, Rodrigue backup, and that wouldn't have been an issue. But we elected to sign Demko. So, these things had to happen. Razor, take it easy, man. We'll catch you later. Get some sleep like a normal person. So, that is the current setup. Do I buy FIFA? Never buy FIFA packs. Just don't. Do not buy FIFA packs. Lucic is indeed gone. New Jersey offered me a deal for him, so we took it. J-Train, I don't buy packs in FIFA, ever. It's just I hope to get lucky through SBCs and just by playing the game. So I'm not going to tell you to buy FIFA packs, because that's a terrible idea. Alright, I think we're looking good. Like I said, we're going to have to change some things about the defense. There are guys I'm going to trade away closer to the deadline. So I think for now we're okay. Let's see what we're dealing with. So obviously the offense, it's a little bit interesting and still, you know. Why'd you accept an unrealistic trade? No team would take that contract. They needed the forward help, technically. They did, you know, technically they did need the defensive help. Or the offensive help. So, it's going to be... I want McAvoy on that side for the 1T. I want Subban on that side for the 1T. Clefbaum and Andrechuk. Clefbaum on that side for the 1T. Do I play FUT? I do squad battles. I don't play online. I don't enjoy it at all. Because I always feel like there's lag and it ruins it when it's a game of, you know, micro movements, essentially. But, yeah, I haven't played as much in terms of squad battles this year. But I still have a pretty good team, all things considered. And then forward-wise here, nobody who's actually projected to be on the fourth line. The big question is whether or not I split up Draisaitl and McDavid. And I think I probably do. We have Penner, Puljujarvi, Smith, Draisaitl, Yamamoto. Again, the one weakness there is Riley Smith. I was hoping someone like Patinen would develop a little bit better. But he didn't. Unfortunately. Alright, who are the better centers here? Alright, Suzuki. I need to develop Ivanov. He has to be on the third line. Kayumov's 24. Alright, let's go. Kayumov, O'Brien, Suzuki. Ivanov, Patinen, Delandria. That works out pretty well. I guess swept by the Islanders. It's going to be happening. Would it be unrealistic to trade my first overall pick for Taylor Hall? Potentially. Sergey, thank you for the 5. It's appreciated. Would it be unrealistic to trade a first overall pick for Taylor Hall? I don't know. Maybe after last season, sure, but would New Jersey take a first overall pick right now? Probably. So, Sergey, you are indeed the man. I thank you for that. Play a game with the boys. Play against the AI, which is always unenjoyable. Oh, I think the dog was barking to go outside, too. So, Wallstead, Luongo. Yep, dog's barking to go outside. Oh, I'll be right back. I gotta make sure she doesn't go on my floor. Let's get back into the editing process as we set up this team. Saccone, get the hell out of here. Oh, we want Caden Goulet in this lineup. And Casey Fitzgerald. Oh, God, I don't even know who the hell you're sitting for. Saccone's low top 4 at 25. Commander's low top 4. Skula's low elite at 20. Yeah, it's going to be Skula. It's going to be Skula. From there, I want the... Honestly, the 2... let's base it off of overall. Screw it. Let's base it off of overall. Let's have Willamara on that side, and I imagine Goulet has a better shot. Indeed, he does. And forward-wise, just to make sure we're good to go. Lord knows we have enough forwards. And they're all centers, apparently. We need Captain Jake and Smallwood in the lineup. Luke Esposito, I'm going to need you to get the hell out of here for bonks, at the very least. Braden Christopher. Bremberg. I guess I don't have that many forwards. I guess I don't, because I still need to take Gust out of the lineup. I guess I could just play a defenseman there. You know, I probably will. We have enough defensemen. I'll probably just play Casey Fitzgerald there. I'm not too worried about Lars Tiemander developing. Screw it, Casey Fitzgerald's an offensive forward, or defenseman. So, I'll just move him up. So, in terms of setting this up by overall, which is how I'm going to do it, rather than potential. Is Pasi Rask a center? He is. I forgot that we had Pasi Rask. He was a former first line or first round dude. I forgot about that. But, you know me, I prefer to set my team up a certain way. Alright, I think we're looking alright. Jakin, congratulations, you're going up to a higher line. Bam. That is the team for this year. Bakersfield looking pretty good. I mean, the real highlights here would be Pasi Rask, who is probably going to be AHL or NHL fourth line caliber next year. Ola Janssen, Andrew Andrews is the big one. The SeatGeek good. It is okay. And if you sign up for a new account, make sure to use my code that's in the description of all my videos to save a little bit of money on your first ticket purchase. SeatGeek. I'm gonna have to put something up on screen now for YouTube. Damn it. Sandin Bouchard, Amara Kravchenko, Skula, and Goulet. Jesper Wallsted's the man now. He's our big goalie prospect. And again, there will probably be changes to the forward core near the deadline. But Penner, McDavid, Puljujarvi, Smith, Draisaitl, Yamamoto. Marcus Ivanov, who's medium elite at 19. Patina, Delandria, Kayumov, O'Brien, Suzuki. I'll let that defense speak for itself, I think. And goaltender. A lot of weight on Demko's shoulders. A lot of weight on Demko's shoulders. So we do need to handle a couple of things. The best thing about best thing about where I work is a coworker of mine's a night season ticket holder. So when they can't go, they sell tickets to me at a heavily discounted price. That is sick, to be honest. Weird Gamer, thank you for the follow. It'll pop up on screen in a second. Go for a big rental deadline. Yeah, that's the plan. Again, there's certain players that I can't move right now, though. Unfortunately. Just due to getting in trouble for moving them too quickly after signing them. So, again, McDavid, Draisaitl, Clefbaum, still the leadership group at the NHL level. AHL level, though, we need a new captain for Bakersfield. You know who it is. You know him. You love him. It's not Tessier. Let's see. Saccone and O'Mara. Go ahead and remove that. Captain of the team. Is he a center? Yes, he is. Jake and Smallwood. Jake and Smallwood is the captain. Andrew Andrews has to be the alternate. Has to be. In the defense, probably Bouchard, since he's actually ours, as opposed to Sandin, who doesn't start off as an Oiler. So, there you go. There you go. Jake and I almost gave the world my phone number, Smallwood. God, that was hilarious. What a legend. Alright, let me clear out the block, make sure the scouts are good. And I don't know if I'm going to run down what the other teams look like. Probably save that for later. But, who do I got for the Super Bowl? The goddamn Patriots, man. Believe in Brady. Believe in Belichick. Believe. Kevin Dunn's favorite hockey player, Smallwood. I thought you were going to say that there was a player with the last name of Beaver. There is, though, isn't there? Alright, I think everything's good. Let me double check the scouts. I want to see what our overall ratings are, too. Oh, boy, let's see. I guess we're good. So Calgary, what type of team are you going to be playing here in the goddamn preseason? 97, 99, 92. That's pretty good, right? That's okay. We might be able to do something. I'm looking forward to getting swept in the first round. Pretty much how that's going to go down. Decent, I guess, right? I mean, if we're lucky. We'll get we'll get the draw out of it. The draw out of it meaning, like, well, regular season success. In the playoffs, we'll probably just absolutely blow it. Alright, I think that might be a good place to end off. Nice little cliffhanger. You want to see how this team does? You're gonna have to come back for more.